Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 build video. Today we are going to be building the ultimate teenager gamer house using the new Sims 4 High School Years expansion pack. But before we get started, I want to thank EA for sponsoring today's video. So first I want to show you guys the inspiration for today's build. You guys are going to freak out because I was literally screaming when I received this package. Logitech sent me their brand new Aurora collection and it is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. I really wish I had this in high school. Everything comes in a crisp white color, which I love. Even this white fluffy cloud wrist pad with the keyboard, oh my gosh, it's like to die for. But on top of the clean aesthetic, this collection is designed for inclusivity. I know a lot of you are petite like me, like literally my hands are the size of children's hands. I have never met an adult that has smaller hands than me. Comment down below if you can relate and if you're also part of the Tiny Hands Club. Well, the Aurora collection was designed with us in mind. The mouse is super lightweight and petite, so it fits my hands perfectly and I don't get mouse fatigue from using it all day. I feel like I would have appreciated this back when I used to work in an office. The headphones are also super lightweight and sit against my head really nicely. They don't look too bulky and also don't give me that head dent that heavy headphones do where they completely leave a dent in your hair and head. Has anyone else ever had that, or do I just have like a soft head? Also, the larger ear cups accommodate people who wear earrings. Seriously, they just thought of everything. There are a variety of accessories in the collection that allow you to customize your gear even more to suit your personal style. So this is what my current setup looks like with the Aurora collection. Now let me tell you, when I was in high school, this was not even an option. I had a laptop, a dining table, and a mouse pad that was like this big. Do you remember when mouse pads were like this big? Why were they so small? I am so stoked to finally have a gaming setup that is both pretty and comfortable for my needs, and I'm sure that there's something in this collection that you're gonna love just as much as I do. So check out the Logitech G Aurora collection at logitech.com. And don't forget to download the new Sims 4 High School Years expansion pack because we're about to do a build for some high school gamers. Okay, let's get started with the build. So I'm building in the new world of Copperdale, which comes with the new High School Years expansion pack, and I'm building on the lot called Town Square Terrace. So it's in the area that's a little bit more exciting, near like the pier, and you can see there's a lot of kind of retail and just more houses. It's a little bit more dense. So I thought that this would be the perfect lot for some high schoolers or some teenagers because they probably aren't going to be living off, you know, in the outskirts, more in the suburban area. They probably want to be like close to the action, close to the fair and all of that stuff. I also wanted to go for a little bit more of an apartment complex feel, so not quite your classic craftsman suburban house because it's a bunch of young kids or young teenagers kind of living together. I thought that they'd want something a little bit more modern, and maybe it's a little bit more on the smaller side. You know, teenagers, high schoolers aren't going to be living in a massive mansion, but I think this is still a pretty sweet setup for them, not gonna lie. So obviously you can make this into more of a family complex instead. If you want to have parents and their children living here, that would be great as well. But I thought it'd be a cool concept to have kind of like a teen gamer house. Like they're all kind of pursuing careers in streaming and in gaming, and they want to do it professionally and take it really seriously. So they all moved into a house together and they all rented this place, and they're going to pursue their careers and take it really seriously and have it be like a content house in a sense. So I have 3 bedrooms in this house, and all 3 of them are going to have 3 completely different gaming setups and gaming aesthetics. So as you guys saw when I showed the Aurora collection earlier, the kind of key colors that come in that collection are the pure crisp white, which is what I'm using right now, and then they also have pink, which I'm using the pink mouse pad, so I have a little bit of white and pink, but there's also this beautiful lime green color in the collection as well. So I did my 3 rooms in this house based off of those 3 colors. So it's as if they each have the Logitech Aurora collection, but they all customized it in their own way to fit either a white pink or green aesthetic. So I thought that was kind of a cute idea, and it works really well because the high school years expansion pack obviously comes with the new like streamer gamer career that you can do when you're a teenager, and it also came with a ton of really cool high tech like gaming items. So like really cool gaming desks and gaming chairs, cool like streamer setups, like new PCs with like the ultra wide monitors, and just a lot of cool things that like you need to have your dream gaming streaming setup, which is super cool because in the past we've always had just like regular single monitor computers in The Sims, and we also had laptops in The Sims, which is nice. But it's cool to actually have like your actual gaming setup be able to be reflected in The Sims in real life, because like for mine, I have a like two monitors. I have like a main monitor and a secondary monitor and like a cool RGB like PC tower and stuff, and I have like a gaming chair, so it is just nice to have it look a little bit more accurate. Like I could technically recreate my actual gaming streaming setup in The Sims, which is really cool. And it comes with like all these super cool colors and like neon colors and obviously neutral colors too, which you'll see me do when I do like the all crisp white room in this house. So I really like that about the new pack, and I just think it adds like a new like level of like fun things for teenagers to do. So let me know down below if you already have the Sims 4 High Schoolers expansion pack or not, and if you tried the new streaming career for a teenager or not. Let me know how that went, and if you gave them like a cool setup or not, or did you just like give them a plain setup? I'd love to know like how you decorated it and like what color scheme you went for. But anyways, you can see I am doing the like exterior shell, I guess. So I took a little bit longer on this shell because it's not really the style that I usually go for. So that's why I was just like playing around with it a lot and just experimenting with different angles and different shapes. Basically, you guys know that I usually go for just a general like craftsman farmhouse, you know, just your nice picture perfect gabled roof pieces and stuff like that. I have dabbled in modern builds like this in the past, but I wouldn't say it's like my specialty, I guess. So this was definitely really out of my comfort zone, but I just figured like if you're gonna have a gamer house, it has to be modern and like kind of like cool looking and just like high tech looking and stuff like this. So I thought that this really fit the vibe properly, especially it feels very young. It feels like somewhere that teenagers would definitely like to live. I mean, I'm not even a teenager anymore, but like I'd still like to live here, not gonna lie. But I was just kind of going for that younger, more newer looking style, I guess. So I had a lot of fun just creating this general shape. I wanted to add a lot of different balconies just to add different dimension at every single layer. So you have that cool kind of layered look with the balconies that come outward, also the kind of trellis that comes outward, and then also, yeah, just, I don't know, different shapes on all sides just to make it look more interesting. I think sometimes when you do these modern builds, it can end up looking very boxy, very almost institutional, and just not very appealing to the eye. So I did have like kind of a flat wall on the left side of the home. If you're looking at it from the front, the left side of the home. So I thought a good way to combat that is to add some greenery and add those tall, skinny trees. That really helps to kind of shield that really flat, boring wall, and also add some much needed greenery and nature to this lot to balance out the concrete effects and the concrete exterior. So that's always a good tip if you're trying to cover up a plain wall. Just use some trees. Just cover everything with a tree, you guys. And then you can see I put a pool on the other side just to add some interest over there. And I think that, you know, some high schoolers would definitely like a pool. A nice little pool party wouldn't hurt anybody. Also in the High School Years expansion pack, we get these new what are they, like fairy lights, like outdoor fairy lights. Now they are really similar to the ones in the toddler stuff pack. I believe it's the toddler stuff pack, but these ones are actually free in the debug section of high school years. So that's a really good bonus object that you can get if you get this pack, is you get these beautiful fairy lights, which I use these all the time in a lot of my builds. They're perfect just to make a patio area look like more whimsical and just cuter. They're really good for like restaurants too, and like parks, or if you have like a rooftop balcony, that'd be pretty cool. But I thought they'd be perfect for this lot just because I think that it adds more of a youthful effect to the home. Like you wouldn't really see these necessarily on super like mature suburban homes necessarily. Like you might, but not as much. Whereas here on this nice modern build, I think it works quite well because I can literally picture like all the high schoolers moving in and being like, let's get fairy lights and put them up everywhere. At least that's what I would do. Kind of like in university, like as soon as you get to your dorm, like everyone has like the fairy lights that they put up across their whole dorm, like over their ceiling and everything. Let me know down below if you went to university and if you lived in the dorm and if you had fairy lights in your room. Kind of like, oh my gosh, I literally have them behind me right now. Okay, I guess they're all ages. Even when you're out of university, you still have fairy lights. I totally forgot I have them. I still have them. But they're actually just Christmas lights. If anyone's wondering what lights I have back here, they're not actual like fairy, like I don't even know. Is there something called fairy lights at the store? Like I just looked for Christmas lights. So yeah, that's what they are. And yeah, in university too, I just got Christmas lights. So I think it's the same thing. It's fine. It's all the same thing. But I do talk about my university experience a lot, but I don't talk about my high school experiences that much. Not that it was like that long ago, but I just default to university because I feel like that was like more memorable, I guess. Even though university was only 4 years, it was more memorable maybe than high school. I don't know. So basically in high school, I did a lot of like extracurricular activities that I didn't end up doing much of them in university. So in high school and I guess in elementary school, because like my high school, it was like the elementary school, like all the same people end up going to the same high school. Let me know if that's how your schooling was too. Like everyone in a certain elementary school by default goes to this next high school. I think that's how it works for most places, but let me know how yours worked. But I did choir a lot, so I was always in choir. And then in high school, I remember like I stopped doing choir in the beginning because I thought it like wasn't cool. And then I ended up joining like halfway through high school again because I guess I decided that it was cool again. Also, all my friends joined. And also, if you joined the choir team, or is it a choir team? Yeah, it's kind of like a choir team. I don't know. The choir group, you got to go and like travel and like compete. It was like a competitive choir team. I wouldn't say it was like Glee, but it was like probably something like that. So I would like compete in like different countries and the choir would travel and we'd go around and like compete our choir songs. So I did that. So that was really fun. I was also on the soccer team. I wasn't very good at soccer because I only just like joined randomly. Like I never played soccer growing up, but I was on the soccer team. And I think the only reason why I made the soccer team was because I was a really good runner. So to preface that, I was also on the track and field and cross country team. So I was a long distance runner and a sprinter on the track and field team. So then naturally the soccer team was like, oh, that girl's like really good at running. She has good endurance and she's a good sprinter. So she should join the soccer team. But little did they know, my little legs, they were good at running, but they weren't very good at kicking the ball. So I was super fast on the field, like definitely one of the fastest people. Like I could chase anyone down, but when it came to kicking the ball, it would be like, ugh, like I could not kick the ball at all. I just didn't have like the technique, and I also just, my legs just weren't like strong enough, honestly. But then a lot of people are like, oh no, kicking the ball is not about strength, it's about technique. It's like, okay, well I had neither, so. But I take a pause on my high school reminiscing for a sec to talk about the first room that I'm doing. So you can see here the bedrooms are going to be quite small, which I think is fine because usually high schoolers, like, you know, growing up, your bedroom's like not that big, or it doesn't have to be that big, especially when you live not in the suburbs and you want to live more centrally. You're probably going to get a bit smaller bedrooms. You know, so that's just realistic. So here you can see I'm doing the more pink themed room. So I'm mainly using, I think, basically only items from the High School Years expansion pack. I have some other packs installed for this build, but I mainly focused only on High School Years items. So some of my favorite things are this beanbag chair. Oh my gosh. That is literally one of my favorite items of all time. Oh, and also, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but the round fluffy rug. The round fluffy rug that I put underneath the streamer setup there. Guys, you guys know how much I love a fluffy rug. I'm so obsessed with the fluffy rug. You guys, it's unhealthy, but it's also not my fault because The Sims keeps coming out with new fluffy rugs. We have that fluffy rug. We have the fluffy rug in the industrial loft kit. We have the classic fluffy rug from City Living that I use every single day of my life. And then we have the fluffy rug from Snowy Escape. That one's a great one too. And we have the fluffy rug, I think it's in Vintage Glamour. It's kind of like a low-key fluffy rug. It's not super fluffy, but you can tell it's a little bit fluffy. But basically, they just keep feeding us fluffy rugs, and the obsession keeps going. So, you know, I didn't realize that I needed a circular one, but now that I have that circular one in the High School Years pack, it's just, you know, I need it in my life every day now. So I have been using that one quite a lot. It's actually a really good size to like size up too. If you use like your right square bracket key, you can size it up, and it's great for living rooms as well. So it is a really versatile item. But here you can see I also put like some pom-poms on the wall there because I figured maybe the person who lives in this room is also on the cheer squad. Because, you know, even though you're a gamer, like, you still have a lot of different interests and extracurricular activities. You're not just doing one thing. Kind of like when I was in high school, I was not just one thing. I was on the sports stuff, and I was also in the music stuff too. Also, back to what I was doing in high school. This is just going to be me reminiscing on everything in high school. Don't forget to comment down below what extracurriculars you did in high school, and also let me know if you still do any of those extracurricular activities or if you just like stopped doing them as soon as you graduated. I'd definitely be interested in hearing like if you kept up with any of them. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was in choir. And then naturally it meant that I was going to be in the school musical as well. So basically, I'm not an actor. I'm like not good at acting. I'm like, yeah, I was super shy in high school and growing up. I think I would still consider myself kind of shy, but basically all of my friends wanted to be in drama class, and I was like literally dying inside because I wanted to stay with my friends, but I really didn't want to do drama. Like the thought of doing improv and doing skits and speeches and stuff like that, I just felt like dying. So let me know if anyone else like has that fear too. I don't think it's like the fear of public speaking. It's just the fear of having to act. It just makes me feel cringe inside. I don't know. Like it feels so unnatural. Anyways, so I was in the musical. And the reason why I was in the musical is because like not enough people auditioned, and they needed more like background people to be like the salt shaker and stuff. So the musical was Beauty and the Beast, and basically like they needed more people to be like the salt shaker and like the plate who just like, you know, just like dances around in the background like singing Be Our Guest. So yeah, I don't know. That's how I got in, because I didn't have to audition, because they're just like, oh, you're in choir, like just join the background people. I guess they called it the chorus. So I was salt shaker in the Beauty and the Beast musical, and yeah, that's how I ended up being in the theater group too. So basically how my school worked is like if you were good at like one team, then other teams would just like come scout you and like make you join them. So like I had no interest in like musical theater, but then they were like, "Oh, you're on choir, so you have to join this." And like I had no interest in soccer, but since I was on the track team, they're like, "Oh, you're a good runner. Like come onto the soccer team." So that's basically like how things worked at my school. They just forced you to do all these like random clubs and stuff. So it was really fun. And I don't think I continued with like literally any of them. But yeah, like I said, let me know what kind of stuff you did in high school and if you continued with any of them. But the build's happening super quickly and I'm just rambling on about me being in the musical. You guys saw the other two rooms that I did. I did the green room and I also did the white, crisp white room at the top. So personally, I really like something about all of the rooms. Like color scheme wise, I like the pink room the best because my favorite color is pink. But layout wise, I think the person who has the white themed room at the top floor might have the best room out of the whole house because they have like their own personal rooftop kind of balcony there with like a fireplace and like fake turf on the top there. So I think their room might be the best, but they also have the most stairs to climb. And if you guys haven't noticed yet, this build only has one bathroom and it's on the bottom floor. So if you are in that top floor, you have to walk down like 3 flights of stairs to get down to the bottom. So I don't know if I want to have that top room if it means in the middle of the night I have to walk down so many flights of stairs. But let me know what you think. Also, the green themed room had like a cool curtain thing. So you have like, I don't know, it just feels very like cozy in there. You can like close the curtain and then go to bed, and I don't know. All of them though have like access to the balcony. So I don't think any of them really have the short end of the stick in that regard because yeah, they all have like a private balcony pretty much. And at the end of the day, it's like 3 teenage gamers who get this entire house themselves. So nobody's really losing here. But still, let me know which room is your favorite out of those 3 and which one you would want to claim if this was your house and you were living with like 2 other friends. But here you can see we are on to the bottom. So this area I like struggled with a little bit because the whole theme of this house is a little bit interesting, right? I wanted it to be modern because it's a modern home, but it couldn't be too like neutral because this wasn't a neutral home. Like it's decorated for teenagers. It's decorated for people that like a lot of color and it's supposed to be fun and youthful. So I didn't want it to look too boring and mature. And you can see here what I'm going for here is kind of a little bit boring and mature. I wanted it to feel like a fun place, a youthful place, somewhere where they're going to have all of their high school friends over, have some high school parties maybe. You can see I put a little ping pong table down at the end. That's actually from the Discover University expansion pack, so you're going to need that pack if you want to download the house with that with the ping pong table. But yeah, basically I was just having trouble making this feel kind of fun at the ground floor because the upstairs were so fun and colorful, and then down here was just feeling a little bit like meh. So I do end up like sectioning the room off a little bit just to provide some more separation, and that's a little bit out of character for me because you guys know I like super open concept floor plans and I very often don't close things off. But I think in this like build, I think it works because it allows me to use more color in different rooms and just have fun with it and just, you know, assign a different color to each room. So I think that just makes things, you know, it changes it up a little bit. Let me know what you guys think. It's very different from what I would usually do, but I also usually build houses for like adults and families and like mature things that I personally would like. And I think I would still personally like this. I just maybe wouldn't like it now in my life. Like if I was a teenager and in high school, I would 100%, or even in university, I would have 100% loved to live somewhere like here. Maybe not so much now, but I don't know. Yeah, let me know. Would you guys live here now? Is it too colorful? I'd love to know your opinions. You guys know I've been trying to experiment with color a little bit more just because, I've done my classic white, black color schemes. I'm all about the neutrals, and I feel like you guys are too, which is, we're on the same page there, but I do still like to experiment with other colors sometimes. And I feel like the High School Years expansion pack really inspired me to do so in a way, mainly because all of the items came with these bright, fun colors, and that's one thing. Colors is one thing, but these items came with good colors. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we'll get swatches, but like if you don't really care for the swatches, it's okay, cool, there's a yellow swatch. Okay, cool, there's an orange swatch, but you're not really like happy about them. But this time I just really resonate with all of the nice bright colors that they gave us with the items here, that I guess is kind of just pushing me to use them a little bit more. I don't know. I can't really explain it. Maybe I'm just in a new era and I'm trying to use color. I don't know. Who knows? But here you can see I did section off this area. So when you walk in right away, you walk into like the kitchen and dining room, and then there's the staircase on the left hand side there. So I made the kitchen kind of orangey yellow themed, which is, yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever done an orangey yellow kitchen, but it just allowed me to be a bit more daring in the living room here. Also, I think it just makes sense because there's so much glass in the build, and you're like sitting on the couch watching a movie, like you don't want people looking through the glass from the front of the house and just seeing you like watching a movie, because they can see right through it. So that wall actually adds in a lot of, I guess, realistic and much needed privacy. Mind you, there's still glass windows around the entire build, so it's not like they can't see you from other angles, but it's a little bit, and I think it's good. And I also really like the couch and the rug and stuff, and I tried to tie in some of the purple, and I just felt like it would look weird if I opened it up completely, because then the orange and the purple would clash a little bit. So yeah, adding that wall just makes me a little bit more comfortable, and it just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. Do you guys like it? I don't know. I feel like I'm like over explaining my thought process, but it was a big challenge for me. So when it is challenging, I do like to kind of talk you guys through what I was thinking at the time. And hopefully you guys can, I don't know, learn from it. I'm not sure. But yeah, I guess I never told you guys if I kept up with any of my high school hobbies in university or beyond. So basically, I didn't really keep up with any of the things that I did in high school. I never kept up with soccer again, so I never have touched the soccer ball ever since high school. I was going to actually probably run or like try out for the track team in university, but then I actually ended up not doing any of that, and then I ended up being on the cheerleading team in university. So that was a completely new challenge for me, and I ended up being cheer captain at university in my third and fourth year, I think. Yeah, my third and fourth year. So that was really exciting, and I've never cheered before until university, so that was very good. But I'm also like really small and really tiny, so I feel like when I arrived at tryouts, they were like, grab that girl, she's tiny. So that was fun. I never ended up like joining a choir again. I never ended up doing another musical or anything. I do really love karaoke now, so I do still sing for fun. And I have a karaoke machine, and I got it a couple Christmases ago. And yeah, so I do that, but nothing like performance based, or no more competitions or anything like that. So yeah, my interests have definitely changed over the years since high school, but I still hold all those memories and all those activities that I did. I hold that all very near to my heart still, because high school was a really fun time, because we got to do all these activities that I probably couldn't do as an adult anymore. Like realistically speaking, I do not have the cardio to play a competitive soccer game anymore. Like, no. And I don't have the cardio to be able to do like a 10K or 10-kilometer race anymore. So it's kind of cool to like look back and see like, oh yeah, like I was I was able to do that back then, and now I'm able to do this, and there's all these other opportunities and interests that have come my way. So yeah, if you are in high school, just try different things and just do whatever's fun for you, and don't take it too seriously unless you want to, of course, but just know that your interests will change as you get older and go through life, and there's always going to be new things that are going to excite you. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys are into now. What were you into as a kid in high school and university and now? I'd love to kind of hear about your hobbies and stuff. I'm always interested to learn more about different hobbies and different things that I can, get into, just because I do have like a little bit more free time to explore more fun things nowadays, especially now that I am full-time with content creation. I do find that I have some more like free time to like get into reading or different types of exercise or different types of art forms and stuff like that. I definitely have more time. So let me know what your guys' hobbies are, and I'd love to learn more about them, and maybe we can discuss them in a future video if I end up, catching on to any of them. But besides that, the video should be over and the screenshot should be rolling. Holy moly, that was a really long video, but I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do let me know if you stayed to the end of the video, if you have the High School Years expansion pack, and let me know what your hobbies are and all the other questions I asked you throughout the video. I'd really love to get to know you guys and just like have a conversation with you guys in the comment section. But if you guys liked this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out and helps it so you'll see more of my videos on your suggestions. And don't forget to leave a comment down below what you thought of the house and if you would live here. Thank you once again to EA for sponsoring today's video. It was so much fun to make, and if this is our first time meeting, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to be friends or if you want to see more Sims 4 videos. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye everybody.